Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar, 6 of my favorite plays for the two-game Wednesday NBA playoff slate, including some of my favorite mid-range and value plays. We'll keep everything under 8,500 on both sites. Who are we talking about? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Wednesday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. The six-pack today brought to you by our great friends over at Manscaped, the men's leader in below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Also, guys, make sure you get over to RotoGrinders.com/beer for $5 off a Core 4 premium subscription. That's going to cover you for NBA, NFL, MLB, as well as PGA Tour golf. NFL season right around the corner. Make sure you're a part of the premium offerings here at RotoGrinders, especially our Lineup HQ tool. Revolutionary, allow you to build 1 to 150 lineups in a matter of seconds. Lineup projections, ownership projections, everything you need there right under one umbrella. All right, let's get into some of the plays here on this two-game slate. We know there's a lot of higher-owned guys. Leave salary on the table is the best advice I can give you, along with these 6 plays on FanDuel and Draftkings. Let's start in the mid-range at the shooting guard position with Tyler, HERRO of the Heat. So here's a guy playing a ton of minutes right now for this team. They've really locked him into a great spot in this rotation, but we look at the minutes, 28 or more here in 7 straight games for Tyler HERRO. In game 1, you look at the fantasy production, was not great, did not shoot the ball great, hit his threes, but just 3 of 11 in that game. So I think there's room for upside for that to improve. And we know the Milwaukee Bucks coming off that loss where Jimmy Butler absolutely dominated them. That's going to be the focus for this defense, along with Bam Adebayo. That's going to leave Tyler HERRO open for some of these threes, and we know one of the best shooters in the league already, in my opinion. Tyler HERRO, great mid-range value here, playing a ton of minutes and in a good spot here with all the focus on Jimmy Butler. Get him in those Wednesday lineups. All right, let's stay in that mid-range, same position. Shooting guard, small forward, Eric Gordon of the Rockets. Now, you talk about a floor here. Eric Gordon's giving you 30 or more Draftkings points in 5 of the last 6 games, and that's something we can't always say with Eric Gordon. Generally an up-and-down player, but a guy taking an absolute ton of shots here. We know that's Houston's game. They want to get up and down the floor, launch them threes. Nothing better here for Eric Gordon, averaging 17.5 shots per game so far in this series, but also chipping in the other categories. Again, not something we always say about Eric Gordon, but hitting almost every category on the spreadsheet. We know the Rockets going to have a very thin rotation here, and Eric Gordon, a big part of that, going to play big minutes here, going to continue to take a lot of shots. Game 7, excited for this one, but Eric Gordon going to be a big part of my builds, especially at this $6K price point on both FanDuel and Draftkings. Let's stay with the Houston Rockets. More value at the center position with PJ Tucker. So under 5K on both sides, and you look at center, it's disgusting. We know that. And I think a lot of people are going to go right back to Brook Lopez. I don't see Brook Lopez being as efficient as he was in that game 1 against Miami. Shot the ball very well in that game. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed with Brook Lopez, so why not pivot off some of that ownership here to PJ Tucker, who really showed us his upside in that last game, gave us a 7.5x return on that salary over on Draftkings. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, we know, have struggled giving up the 3, especially to the center position, bottom 10 in the league. And I know there's not a lot of centers that shoot 3s out there, but that is really evolving in the league. PJ Tucker hitting the boards as well. If he hits a few of those corner 3s as well, easily pays off these salaries under 5K on both sites. Love the value here at a nasty center position on both FanDuel and Draftkings. Let's continue with the value. Let's go even cheaper here. Try to help you out even more at small forward, power forward, and center, depending on where you're playing. DARIUS BAZLEY of the Thunder. So watching the last couple games, it's really been apparent that they want to get DARIUS BAZLEY more involved in this game. We know they want to play the 3-guard lineup. They know they want to play smaller. He really gives them that athletic wing, a guy that can get out and defend, still gobble up some rebounds. But you can see in the minutes, the role has really increased here for BAZLEY over the last 2 games, 24 minutes per game, and he's responded, averaging 27 fantasy points per game over that 2-game stretch. And we know he gives you a ceiling. We've seen plenty of ceiling games out of this guy. Now, we might not get the 40s that we got when some of the other pieces were out of the lineup, but if I can get 27 fantasy points at a price point under 4,000, sign me up any day of the week. So with his athleticism, his length, the increased minutes here, really love DARIUS BAZLEY. In fact, my favorite value play on the slate, not even close, way too cheap get them in those lineups. All right, let's spend some money here. We've been saving you a lot of money so we can spend up at shooting guard, small forward with KHRIS Middleton of the Bucks. Now you got to give it up for the Miami Heat. Go in and get game one. They've done a great job defending Giannis Antetokounmpo all season long, led by Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler. They've done a good job of clogging the lane there, especially. That's going to mean good things here for KHRIS Middleton. It's not to say Giannis doesn't respond and have a better game, but Middleton's a guy that's really going to reap the rewards here, and we've seen that over the last couple games against Miami, including that game one. He's averaging over 50 DraftKings points per game in those contests. So you get a solid floor with the way he's been playing, 38 or more DraftKings points in 4 straight games. We get that 50-point ceiling here as well. Took a ton of shots in that game, and we know the Bucks going to tighten the reins here. It's going to be a lot of Giannis and a lot of Middleton at a much cheaper price point. Like them both here, but really like the prospects here for KHRIS Middleton in game 2 against Miami. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play on the slate. But before we do that, guys, I want to talk about our friends over at Manscaped. And we've all had the time where we've had an issue taking care of things down south, or maybe our friends have. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. This 3rd generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. And guys, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will give you up to 90 minutes for a longer shave. Waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower as well. And one of the coolest features here of the 3.0 is the LED lighting, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trim. They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget the charging stand as well. You can show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is convenient charging dock powered by USB. So you guys are listening to me right now. I want you to experience firsthand for yourself. Trim that junk ears, get 20% off and free shipping as well with the code BEER, B-E-E-R at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Now, let's get into my favorite play here for Wednesday. You know, man, it's the beast of the night. All right, beast time, and I'm back with one more player here for you guys. Before we get into that guy, we're going to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Make sure you get in the comment section and guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my favorite play here. Closest guess is going to win themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Make sure you've hit that thumbs up button on the video as well, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, my final play for Wednesday, point guard Chris Paul, tonight's Beast of the Night. Game 7, nothing better in sports than a good old Game 7 here. And what does that mean? That means veterans putting the team on their back like we saw Chris Paul do in Game 6, carried Oklahoma City to a win there. Despite the struggles of some of his younger teammates, this guy went out and scored 15 points in the 4th quarter to seal that Game 6 win. And he's now eclipsed 42 DraftKings points in 3 of the last 4 games here of the series. If there's one guy I want to lock in my lineups here in this Game 7, you can make the argument for Harden, Westbrook, Giannis. I'm going to spend down here $8,200 on both sides. The beer gut telling me to lock Chris Paul in. I think he takes over here in Game 7 and puts on a show, making him easily my favorite play on the slate and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up here for Wednesday in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, get in that comment section. While you're there, we're going to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Closest guess to fantasy points for Chris Paul on DraftKings going to win themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Also, make sure you've thumbed up the video and you subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at Beermakersfan. One last thing, guys, like we talked about during the video, make sure you get over to manscaped.com. Use promo code BEER for 20% off along with free shipping. That's manscaped.com. Promo code BEER for RotoGrinders.com. I am Beer saying salute. Best of luck here on Wednesday, guys, and we'll see ya.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.